Leroy, you warmed up yet?
Uncle Spike, get it right.
This is The Outlet. We're here at the Yard Boxing Academy with Coach. How you doing today, my guy?
All right.
All good, all good. So, why do they call you Coach, and what is the Yard Boxing Academy?
Well, Coach is just a name I elected to have. You know, I didn't want to put no names on it. I just figured, hey man, everybody called me Coach already, so I just decided to go with Coach. You know, the Yard Boxing Academy basically is for those men and women who come home, you know, from being away, and they need a place to feel comfortable at. So we get a lot of people who come home from prison and different facilities that they need a place to come, you know, feel comfortable at and get some stress off. A lot of them don't have a lot of money when they come home, so we elect to, you know, make the cost low so they can afford it. So we just elected to call it the Yard Boxing Academy because, like I said, we get a lot of people from them facilities that come here and train with us. I've always been into health and awareness. I've always been into physical fitness. And I always want to be a superhero. You know what I'm saying? I always want to be a superhero. I like how they looked. You know, I like their powers.
They definitely had muscles. Like
I like their powers and everything like that. So, you know, it just intrigued me to want to be that. And so that's why I elected to try to become.
You know, it's funny when you said that, when you said that, and it made me think about health as well. Captain Planet.
Yes.
Captain Planet had everything on the rings were dealing with the environment.
Elements. They had the 5 elements.
Yep. So that's definitely touching how you use that. I like that. Now, what made you decide to get into being an environmental coach?
The environment, to give back to our environment. You know, it's very important that we give back to our environment. The state of the world right now is in chaos, you know, and humans seem to not want to do anything about it. So I want to use my platforms to help inspire and encourage the people around the world to get back to the earth. And I believe one of the #1 ways we can get back to the earth is working out, especially outside. So we should work hand in hand with our earth, with the environment. I feel if you heal the earth will heal you. So I feel that's very important for us to know that, and it's very important. It's key that we get back to the earth because the way things are going, it don't look like, you know, she gonna take this much longer.
Hurricane Ian, a Category 4 monster storm, roared ashore Wednesday near Fort Myers, Florida. Its 150-mile-an-hour winds tore apart homes and devastated businesses in its path. The storm surge, up to 12 feet, seemed to wipe communities right off the map. The deadly triple threat of wind, rain, and flooding makes it one of the worst hurricanes to ever arrive on Florida's shores.
You know, Earth has a way of shaking things up and getting the pollutants off of her. So we have to know the signs of natural disasters, the worse they get. We have to know the things we're putting into our atmosphere. So it's a lot to why I actually chose to name our company Environmental Fitness, or be Environmental Coach, because it's like no one's listening, you know. So we got to take our voice and our platforms to let the world know, listen, y'all need to get out there and help your environment a lot more.
What was it in your life that made you feel like you need to become a coach? What is something that impacted you that made you feel that way? Was it personal? Was it business? Was it just you yourself?
It's the loss of my parents when I was young. I grew up in foster homes. I was bullied. I was bullied, man. I was jumped a lot. But ultimately, the loss of my parents, it set in me a pain. Just knowing that I'd never be able to speak to my mom or my dad, ask them questions on how life is or how they deal with this in life. So when I was split up from my brothers and sisters when I was young, I always had set in my mind, I gotta make some type of money so I can get my family back together.
Right.
I got to do something. I want to be the best at anything I do, whether it's sports, football, baseball, whatever. I want to be the best at what I do so I can get enough money, to bring my family back together and make sure we all healthy and we all strong. So I went through a lot of pain as a youth, just losing my parents. So I set in my mind that I never want nobody to go through any type of pain. I don't want nobody to be sad. I don't want to get bullied, picked on, any of that. So I started fighting the bullies in school, and I would get jumped from fighting the bullies. They were picking on somebody, but it got to a point where I beat up the bully, and then I started beating up the people who tried to beat me up. So and this was before any type of boxing or anything like that. And I think me going through those experiences, I know me going through those experiences, it made me tougher. Not to become the bully, but kind of become like the superhero. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want to save the world, honestly.
Yeah, so I did that. I stuck with that, and years later, as I got older, I found my way to boxing, and got up with my Coach Rick Sanabia, one of the best coaches in the world. So I got up with him, and he showed me a different way of controlling my anger and focusing my energy in the ring.
So you would say that the boxing was basically like the mental health of helping
Yeah,
out.
it sure enough was. It definitely was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it definitely was. It helped cope with a lot of issues, frustration, depression, anxiety, all of that, So once I found that, I'm like, all right, this is where I want to be at.
Right.
I can come in here and punch when I'm punching bad. I come spar, get hit on, hit back. And at the end, it's all love. It's not no animosity, it's none of that. So I got into boxing. And then I kind of wavered from it because of life. When you're an amateur boxer, you got life. You still got bills to pay. You still got a family to take care of. Still got a job to work. So life happened, so I got away from boxing. And I had a son, which you'll see in a little bit. I had a son, and I started training him. And then I fell in love with training him. And
do you feel like that should be something we should implement with kids or all around parts? I guess not saying boxing per se, but just a sport or some type of, like you said, is this something to keep their minds going?
It is. It really is. And I feel that combat. I feel that the fight life is a perfect way to help anybody.
Okay.
With any type of depression, anxiety, anything you're going through, post-traumatic syndrome, anything that you're going through, I feel that stepping inside of this ring will help with that. Letting them hands go will help with that. Because when you just want to hit something, you get mad, you just want to hit something, get angry, and you just want to hit something. So why not release your energy, release all that negative energy in a space where it's comfortable at. So I feel that from the youth. I started training my son when he was 11 months. And I have proof of this. I started training him when he was 11 months old. When he was able to start walking, I took his hands and I started doing the 1-2 with him, 1-2, 1-2. By the time he was a year old, he was throwing his hands up by his face, and he was throwing 1-2s. That wasn't coming pretty, but he knew 1-2s because he knew that behavior. Like how to train.
Developing what's it called? Like a mental training, like a memory training. Like memory training. Like
exactly.
So that's that. Okay.
Exactly. So start them out when they're young. I tell everybody, bring me your child when they're 2 years old. When they're 2 years old, bring them to me. When they know the numbers 1, 2, you bring them to me, and then you watch what I do with them. And I promise you, within a month of your 2-year-old being with me, they'll look like they've been in the ring at least a year. Ask your cameraman, he'll tell you.
So now what you saying that now this so this is basically, was this like your dream, or do you feel like this was just something that just kind of happened and you roll with it?
What is that? What you mean by dream?
Was this becoming who you are today? The environmental coach? Was this your dream? Is this the end of the magic? Is this the end of the dream, or is it bigger? What is it? What's next?
Well, no, it never was my dream to become an environmental coach. It's just, I feel that we're not gonna live forever.
Right.
All right. That's a true statement and a false statement, but I'm gonna go by just the true statement. As far as the physical beings, we're not gonna live forever. But while we're here, we want to make sure we're doing for one another while we're here. Morals. I believe wholeheartedly that if you're a good person here in this dimension that we're living in right now, when you ascend, when you pass away, I believe that you will eternally be in a comfortable place. And that's a part of the environment too, eternity.
Yeah,
space, time, all of that, the cosmos, all of this is a part of you, your natural environment. You are made up of the same thing the cosmos are made up of. This is a scientific fact. So we got to get back to our environment, people. We got to stop taking away from it. We're polluting too much on this earth. It's too much pollution. Music is pollution. TV is pollution. Politics is pollution. People are pollution. We're the bacteria. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are, man. We destroy so much and don't even care about it. We do. So we need to harness the energy to say, hey, man, we got to figure out a way to get back. But getting back to why my dream, and I feel that me training my son, it shows me that I'm not living for me. I'm living for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I didn't do what I did in life. I didn't have fun. I made money. I did all that. I'm living for him now. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do, I got to do for him.
Orthodox. Uppercut. Southpaw.
There you go. There you go.
Uppercut. Southpaw. Switch. Uppercut. Switch. Uppercut. 2. 1, 2. Good. 1, 2. 1, 2.
If I die and I pass away today or tomorrow,
1, 2.
In his brain, he gonna know, listen, he gonna be able to train people when he get older. You know what I'm saying? Because he already know what to do. He got 6 years in of training. He's 6 now. He got 6 years in of training. So that became my dream. That became my dream, to see him grow up and become a man and to be strong and be successful. And, that's my dream.
Okay. I like that. All right. So as far as, contact, how can the people get to you or the gym, or what's the best way of getting in here and getting that work?
I'm not on too many social platforms. You know what I'm saying? You can find me at Marquette McMillan CPT on Instagram.
Okay.
Or you can find me on Facebook at Kemet Cush. That's KEMETCUSH. Kemet Cush. That name is two of your first African civilizations here on planet Earth, Kemet and Cush. So I just elected to use those two names and bring them things together. If people wondering what that name means.
Never knew that.
And Nubia is the third one. You had a lot of Mesopotamia and Samaria. You had a lot of them. Kemet, Cush, and Nubia was one of the first 3 African nations on planet Earth.
Wow, that's good. All right, well, yeah, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate this time you gave us, man. Like I said, if anybody want to get into it, check it out. The Yard Boxing Academy with Coach. This is The Outlet. We out.
Oh my God, man, this is funny. Put your hand right way. All right hand. Put your foot back. This foot back. Put your hand up. Chin.
This is a 1, this is a 2. So I say that with a 1, that with a 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Knees up tight, elbows tucked. 1, 2. Right back. 3. Right back. 1, 2. Right back. 3. Right back. 1, 2. Right back. 3. 1, 2, 3. Right back. 1, 2, 3. Right back. 2. 1, 2. 3. 1, 2. 2. 3. 1, 2. 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2. 2. 2. 1, 2. 2.
Yeah.